Well, welcome everyone. How's it going? Good morning to you all. Now, I think my microphone's probably really loud today. So you guys will have to tell me if it's clipping or whatever, you know, stuff like that. Any issues? You let me know. Morning, what's for breakfast stream today? Well, I've decided that the footsteps thing, it's kind of a misstep. It's unfortunate really, but I shouldn't have done the warband thing yesterday. It's a bit too complicated until I get more comfortable with all this, and I'm using wiki and stuff like that. What the fuck? I just cancelled those two things. Everyone ignore that. Man, is the game audio not too loud? I'm turning that down a bit. I'm gonna do like simple achievements. All right. So for example, nearly completed Idolatry. So let's go for Idolatry today. Right. I'm on 29 out of 30. 5. Destroy 30 small jaw mag idols during or following the Hunt Begins chapter. So I'm thinking it says during the Hunt Begins chapter. Does that mean I can enter a story instance and find them? I mean, I might have to wiki this one again. We used to have people in game that would run around and guide us to all the objectives. You know, I'll actually have to see. Well, if I'm not doing this, you know, I'm usually very au fait with using wiki, and I'm perfectly comfortable with it, and I'll get through stuff quick. But you know, so yeah, that'll be the idea for today. We'll get that achievement going. The PC fund you'll see has actually gone up a bit. I don't know, it's crazy, man. Some of you guys, while the stream's down, you've been sending in your messages and contributions. So I'll read those out in a minute. I actually, as well, I've got an episode of End of Dragons Daily. Well, I don't know. I feel a bit greedy or whatever. I feel like there's something wrong with it, but maybe there's not. But in an episode of End of Dragons Daily, I actually told people about this fund. Because, you know, they're watching the footage too, and they're suffering more than anyone else, I think, you know, as far as en masse. Suffering. Nobody's suffering, let's be real. But so I basically just said, look, the fund is going on, and what we'll do is if you guys want to contribute and get your name read out and all that kind of stuff, I put a link, like or at least I'm planning to. The episode will be later today. I'm going to put a link in the description of that video, and you never know. If it's just like 1 or 2 people click it, then that's cool, and we'll see what ends up happening, really. Also, I had some amazing advice over on Discord about components and what might be going on. I actually still have some software ideas that might help in the meantime. Today, the crashes got worse yesterday, so today I'm actually subsampling. I think it really might be a GPU issue, which sucks because GPUs are so pricey at the moment. So if that is the problem, it's kind of like that's like the worst component you wanna have to replace. Anyway, so we're subsampling 2 today, and hopefully that nips it in the bud. I don't know whether it will, but we'll see. Killida says, glad your mum... Oh, I've got my UI slightly off here. Glad your mum seems to be doing better based on tweet. Glad to hear it. Yeah, I don't know. I was a little... You guys probably... If you're watching all my content, you probably caught a few little nods about it over the past week. But yeah, my mum was not doing well, and yeah, it was COVID. And I don't really talk about real life stuff, or well, real life. How do I put it? I don't really talk about personal IRL stuff, but I do kind of want to talk about this thing. I wanted to throw the tweet out first of all, because I feel like the NHS. This is the first time in my life that, you know, I've always paid NHS contributions. I've never used it though, and no one really close to me has relied on the NHS. I've never really had that personal experience. I mean, kind of. I mean, I've had grandparents and stuff, but you know, someone super close, like your family unit kind of thing, and who's really, really needed it. And it's been quite the experience, honestly. I've come out of it thinking, you know, I'd pay a lot more. Like it's something I'm genuinely proud of in the UK. But the other thing I kind of want to just say, I don't know, this is a bit stupid. Who's going to hear this? We're kind of on our way out of the pandemic now, aren't we? Really, because the vaccine's coming in. But I just do want to assure anyone who ends up having someone who gets afflicted with it, you know, don't panic too much. I just want... My mum was bad. Like she... Like, to give you an example of how bad my mum was, like, when we could ring her, and, like, when I'd ring her, she couldn't even speak on the phone. Like, she was, like, giving, like, 1 word every, like, 3 seconds. like very, 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 like she sounded like she was about to die. She was very bad, and they had to do a lot of stuff to keep the oxygen going with her. She couldn't walk anymore. She couldn't move. They were like checking for blood clots. She got infections in both lungs. She'll probably have scarring there for the rest of her life. It was really bad. And on some of those calls, you know, I came away with a really nasty feeling. And it's very hard because you can't visit people either. So it's very, it's weird. Like, you're kind of completely in the dark. It's like, it's hard to get a hold of anyone that's treating them on what exactly is going on. But when you have a phone call with someone who literally can't speak, you know, because they just cannot breathe, you know, it's scary. And it was really bad. And I remember I sort of vaguely mentioned it, almost like accidentally in a video or something. Oh, it wasn't really an accident. In one of the Ender Dragon's dailies, I'd mentioned, like, COVID was on my mind a lot. So I think I mentioned COVID at the start of the video. And then I'd also mentioned at the beginning of the video that I was going through a bit of a family thing. And people like put two into. I wasn't trying to like breadcrumb that or anything, but I was like, oh, I kind of said what was going on there. And anyway, someone said in the comments there, oh, don't worry about it, WP. It will get better. You know, I had someone with it, and it really wasn't so bad. And I read that message, and I thought, fucking hell, it wasn't so bad. Like, this is awful. And you know, it hits people to different degrees of severity. And like, I could not when I read that message, I could not take that sincerely. I couldn't take that as like any kind of comfort at all, because it was like, this is bad. This is really, like, I'm gonna lose her. This is not good. And believe me, if she hadn't gone into hospital, if she hadn't been admitted for a whole week, she'd be out, you know. So they absolutely did the critical care. Anyway, so I read that message. It gave me no comfort. But then, you know, like a couple of days later, I had another call with her and she could speak a bit, and I was like, wow, what the hell? And then all of a sudden, like, they were sending her home. And, you know, once the infection started passing, if you can just keep breathing, if you can just keep going while it clears through your system, and it will clear through your system, when that happens, you know, you'll be out and you'll be all right. And so she's still in a very bad way, but she's home again now, and, you know, it's out. Well, I think technically she's still positive, but she's not infectious anymore, and her lungs are clearing up a bit. So you know, I couldn't take heart from that comment, but hopefully anyone, and I mean, what are the odds of this, but if anybody does have a bit of a scare, maybe think about my experience, because it was very bad, and she pulled through. So, you know, don't panic too much, don't worry too much. So yeah, good stuff, really. And I just felt very grateful, really, for the first time, like super grateful for that institution in this country. I was very happy. It's funny, I actually asked her about it, and she was like, oh no, they're really lazy, blah blah. She wasn't happy at all. And apparently they're not even like swamped at the moment where I am. It's not even that bad. There's not even that many infections because we're on our way out. So she wasn't impressed, but I'll tell you what, I am, and I'm very happy. So there you have it. That's the little story in the tweet that I put out this morning. Might have been different strains. The UK has its own. Yeah, there is like a UK. I don't know what variant she had. There is a UK variant. Isn't there a South African variant? Is that what it was? Is it South African as well? Those are the two. I don't really care. You know, I don't know why we label them based on geography. I know that that's where the strain is like first detected or whatever, but it seems a bit weird.
Never saw it coming.
Is that a setting to automatically open chests above the map? No. I'm right clicking. If you right click, it will auto open. There are some that don't auto open. Sorry, I've got a dog here. He wants to go outside. And unlike normal, I'm gonna have to close the door again after him. There are some things you can't right click, but most things you can. Thanks very much for the donation there, Naratu. That's very nice of you. I really appreciate that. Oh, and also, in terms of like pre-existing conditions and stuff, my mum's only in her 50s, late 50s, but she's in her 50s. So the way that, like, I did so much reading about this, the way that they like determine if you're vulnerable kind of depends where they set the bands. Sometimes you'll read a site and they say, you know, like the 35 to 59 range, barely anyone gets in a bad way. But after 60, there's a big jump. Or sometimes you'll read a band and the way they pair it off is actually they say like 45 to like 65 is its own band. And there's actually a lot of damage going on in that band. So it kind of depends on how you interpret the statistics, but which can mean someone in her age range, it either looks really scary or it doesn't look that scary. She, you know, I'm glad she's not 10 years older. I'll put it that way. And I don't mean to worry anyone who has a relative that is in the higher band up there, and sort of undo the good that I just did with a story of positivity and hope there. But yeah, she kind of did have. She's not in a great way. She doesn't smoke anymore. I don't really know how much that exacerbates the issue. But this time last year, she did get a lung infection, and it really impacted her breathing. And I think that infection came back once she got COVID. So it kind of was that there was the lung infections on top of the COVID was really, really bad. And maybe, you know, but I don't know. What, surely an infection from 365 days ago isn't still dormant or whatever. You take a course of antibiotics and completely get rid of it. I don't know, maybe the course wasn't full enough. Maybe she didn't finish it or whatever. I don't know. But in general, she was a fairly healthy person that got in a very, 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 very bad way. And was sort of, you know, crossing the line into being very vulnerable in terms of age and stuff. So, you never know. Anyway, yeah, wear a mask, people. There's a Brazilian, a South African, and a UK variant. Yeah, you know, we could be in an alternate universe right now, guys. You know, the UK tested the vaccine. All right, the dog wants to come in again now. Right, don't mess me about. I have people to entertain while I grind for World versus World pips now. All right, what was I saying? Yeah, we could be in an alternate world where the tested vaccine in the UK was creating a zombie apocalypse. You know, where's my 28 days later? Do you know what I mean? I don't really need to fight this Doliak. So, my World vs. World progress, by the way. Let's see. It's kind of jumped quite a bit recently. Because all I do is roam. Let's see. I've nearly got going camping. Just a few more camps to flip there. And I'll have that. The other one I've started focusing on a little bit more now is Walls Get in the Way. World vs. World is so weird, man, because I feel like so many of us are here just for pips. That when I make progress on this achievement, I feel like an arsehole, you know? Like, actually defending a camp, you get all these complete noobs that really don't know how to play. Like, trying to flip it, and then you just, like, kill them. And then I feel like an arsehole. I feel like, you know, I'm, like, ruining their fun, because now they don't have their participation credit, and they're going to be just... It's very weird. It's a weird situation. There's so much fucky with the way I interpret World vs. World at the moment. Which is a real problem. So, yeah. And I think I finally stopped build crafting on Mirage here as well. I think this is by far the strongest. I actually only just recently learned the utter, like, bonkers strength of the passive of Signet of Illusions. Like, you look at it and it's like one clone every 10 seconds. But, man, it's so strong. Combined with Tormenting Runes, if you play... Like, there's a proper shit Mirage build that... I don't know. I feel like it's... I don't know, I don't want to talk too much shit about it, but there's a really rubbish build, like a Selly build with like no staff and no chaos. It's like an illusions build. But I really learned how strong this was if you're running like a heavy ambush variant and you're on Scepter and Staff. Both ambushes, of course, slapping a ton of torment out, both of them ranged. There's just so much value here that means that the extra clones you're getting for extra torment from the extra infinite horizons just scales like ludicrously. For the first time last week, I don't know if he knew he was fighting me or whatever, but there was a Weaver who actually beat me in like 3 1v1s in a row. And I know that sounds very snotty and arrogant, but that's extremely rare. There was a Weaver I literally couldn't beat in World vs. World. And, you know, if you play in a cleanse heavy Weaver, that's obviously always been very good against Mirage, especially in the hands of a decent player. But to find someone in World vs. World, and he was immaculately beating me, like 100% beating me. So I just kind of kept going back. He kept wanting to have the 1v1, or he stayed standing around it, go for the 1v1s. So I just tried different build variants. You know, I cycled through lots of different gear every time I went back in. And as soon as I equipped this thing, as soon as I tried, just on a whim almost, Signet of Illusions, it completely swung, and I was winning every single 1v1 100% of the time. Like it was still a little bit close, but it was such an enormous power swing. So the other things I was trying in this slot was Mantra of Distraction, which is extremely fun, by the way, especially with the pistol trait if you're really thinking about it as you interact. I tried not Mirage Advanced, Sand Through Glass, I guess it was, for a little bit. Obviously Signet of Midnight I was using a lot. I tried Blink. I think those are the only variants. While I was actually testing. But yeah, as soon as this thing came on with the Tormenting Rune combo, man, nuts. Truly nuts. Oh, and I really do stand by the 40% endurance food as well on this. With double energy still. Anyway. We got Jeb. Hey, it's good to see you, dude. You're really glad she's okay? That must have been tough. Oh, it was a nightmare. I don't want to bang on about it too much because people have gone through worse, you know, and there's people older than me that have actually lost their mum or their dad, you know, and like I don't want to be sitting here giving some shitty sob story when people have, you know, actually gone through something a bit heavier, I guess. But yeah, so the only reason I really wanted to talk about it was just positivity about the NHS and just to reassure anyone that's in that situation, because I felt a bit naked and alone, you know, with it. I really did. Wait, Jeb, were you here for the whole story then, were you? Can I link my whole Wild vs. Wild build? Sure. It's not a very hard build. But, like, it kind of is in a lot of ways. I've noticed a lot of Mirages don't know what they're doing. One of the main strengths about this build in the mirror, as far as Wild vs. Wild is concerned, is you don't have to WAS and D much. So they spank a ton of Torment on you, you spank a ton of Torment on them, and they're running around going all over the place. It's one of the biggest weaknesses of Axe, and they're just taking all this unnecessary pressure. I literally just stand there. You will look like a noob, but it is the right way to play, especially considering Illusory Ambush and pretending to be a clone. The more stationary you are, the better in general, so there are little things. But yeah, this is very similar to what I used to run in PvP. So much of this is gutted in PvP, by the way. But Auspicious Anguish is a fucking bomb, man. I love this trait. This trait is so cool. Look at that. Look at the vigor that you get on a little bit of bleed there. First of all, the burn is the into Aegis is amazing in a ton of matchups. By the way, the one class that will actually come close to you on this variant, this is a Trailblazer Torment. The one class that will come close to you, good Deadeyes can obviously just stall it out forever and eventually they'll get you. Some Daredevils can actually do that quite well as well. You know, if you interrupt the plasma and if you're very careful about... basically, any Daredevil that actually knows Steel after he sees a mirror is going to win, you know. And if you're in that situation and regularly 1v1ing, you're now in a game of fucking double mirroring back to back to bait them and shit like that, which, you know, this is Wild versus Wild. It's not happening that much. The one other build outside of those Thief variants is actually the Rev build, the Condi Rev. You do have to be careful of Condi Rev, but if you run this trait, and especially on antitoxin runes, it's completely in your favor again. This is the most busted thing out there. It's nuts. It's completely obscenely busted. By the way, this has been a hellish week for Wild vs. Wild. I've been in here so much this week, and I still don't have the diamond chest. I'm like never outnumbered, and my server is always dead last. So we just get like no pips every tick. It's just a slow, painful, excruciating grind all the way up there. I did actually play PvP, Rogalicious, after getting the Legendary. I played for the Byzantium chest this season so that I could buy a couple more llamas. That's basically where I'll be now. I'll just be picking up llamas, and then I just let myself decay down. That's it. And then once I got... Let's see, what llamas are there left? Once I've got... Wait, that's not right. Wow, I'm a lot further ahead than I thought I was. No way. Alright, once I've got these last two bronze ones, that's it. I'll get these, and then basically in the year 2035, when nobody's playing anymore, I'll play a monthly tournament against bots and get my gold llama. That's what I'll do. That'll be in 2035, and I will have got enough tickets by that point. That's alright. You know. That's the equivalent. This gold llama, this is the equivalent of getting the hero title track in Guild Wars 1 today, you know? Playing Heroes Ascent against bots so that you can get the high slash hero rank emotes. Yeah, so that's the end game that I'm in now. 2035. You guys will see a stream, don't worry. I'll be here. I'll be here. Hopefully I'll have a better PC at that point. Make a note to play Guild Wars 2 in 2035 to crush my llama dreams. Bahoosh. All right, well, look, I'll legitimately have one person to compete against. All right, who am I going to get Idolatry on? Someone pick a profession. Any profession that you like. Right, and let me read out these tips here as well. Not tips, donations, okay? So we're doing a PC fund. Thank you to everyone who contributed here. Naratu 12 minutes ago with £10. Thank you. Stick 10 hours ago, £25. 10 hours ago. That's the middle of the night. Thank you, dude. He says, cheers, WP. Thanks for all the great videos and streams. Here's a little bit of something for the PC fund. A little bit. Dude, 25 quid. You took me out for a meal there. Thank you very much. Well, fast food. Take Lee tipped £30. Thank you very much towards your PC fund. That was 13 hours ago. Thank you. £30. These are huge numbers, man. Weston T. Jones, £20. For your new PC, thanks for the years of amazing content. I hope you can get a nice new rig. You deserve it. Don't feel bad asking for help. You've given the community a lot. Well, I don't know. It's it doesn't feel like an honest living. I think that's what it really comes down to for me. I don't know why. I'm not sure. No one ever sat me down as a kid and like spelt this stuff out to me, but I've got these weird opinions. Anyway, thank you. Targoza, £50, 18 hours ago. Hey WP, I've been watching your content for 9 years now, and it's really great to see you back in full swing with End of Dragons Daily, all the other videos, and now streaming too. So let's get you that PC wave. Thank you very much. I just hope that it continues building to stuff. Obviously, as soon as we hit that catalyst, that flashpoint where they start talking a bit more about End of Dragons, I'm hoping that this baseline we're building here of enthusiasm will catapult us, you know. That's what I'm really hoping. And then, you know, last year where I did a video saying it may be time to unsubscribe because we're weaning down on the Guild Wars 2 stuff, well, that will come back into force. You know, ArenaNet, it's a funny old world how ArenaNet announced an expansion right after that. Louis actually left a comment on YouTube as well. Louis Sanchez, £40 for your PC. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. £40. And then finally, right after the stream yesterday, I don't know whether this was live or what, but this is a truly obscene amount of money. MTG Einolf. MTG Einolf. Let me say it again. MTG Einolf donated £85, 26 pence. I'm guessing that was 100 euros. That's mental, man. Oh, it definitely was, because he says, have some of my Norwegian oil money. Thank you for the Norwegian oil money right there. Now, I'm kind of scared that appeared on the stream yesterday. I hope that it didn't. But there you have it. So, thank you. Thank you very much. And now we're caught up. We're at present. Right. Norway is not in the EU. Well, it is and it isn't, right? It depends what context we're talking about. Geographically, it is. It's in the Eurozone. Is that right? It's not actually EU. Oh, so they're crowns, are they? I didn't realize. Oh, I realized they're their own currency. Play NG, you slacker. All right, let's play Engineer. I've been playing a lot of Engineer in the videos lately. I'm so sad as well because the fashion walls on this NG looks amazing, but when we remove all the quality, like you can't even see like this sword. This is like a lightsaber that goes vroom, and it like extends out. But look at this for the sheath animation still kind of works, but it just sort of appears for us here, and the shield as well is supposed to have a really good animation. It kind of works on unsheath but not bring out. I don't know what that's all about. Anyway, yeah. So let's go for it. Idolatry. I might actually wiki this so that we're a little bit more in the know. Oh, wow. My NG has never been to Bureau Marches. Oh, I was wondering why this is unfogged. That's because that's the strike mission. That makes sense. All right. Okay, so let's hit up Portal Stone. Ape Junk raided my stream with 34 viewers. Thank you. Thanks very much, man. Good morning. Morning to everyone watching. Oh, wrong button. Oh, well, I guess I'll do this real quick. Do we have the quartz in our bag. No, we don't. I meant to hit the portal tome, but I hit the homestone instead. I actually still need to pick up my provisional tokens and stuff for today. And I got to do my Lunar New Year thing. But we can figure that in a minute. Here we go. Icebrood Saga portal tome. Man. It just struck me. How many slots did Shaman mine on this? Was it 7 again? Was it 7 slots? We're never going to get those ideas for maps, whatever they were. If they were. ArenaNet should definitely do a stream where they talk about what could have been. That's crazy. Samael Zin, good to see you streaming again. You guys are way too enthusiastic about these streams. Thank you. It's good to be back. Look, I want to be clear. This is just like some little stuff with coffee in the morning. I'm glad people are enjoying it though. I'll tell you what, it's nice to have good frame rates here at least. You go on minimum settings and finally Biora has decent frames. So, what does the achievement itself say? Destroy 30 small Jormag idols during or following the hunt begins chapter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type /wiki idolatry. And let's just see. Are these just going to be around the map? Is an achievement for destroying the small idols. They're dotted about. Alright, no, we can do this in the open world and I have a map. Okay. I need more real estate. How do you stream, man? This is so annoying. How do I have chat, stream information, freaking follow alerts, and a game and a wiki page up? Like, what the hell? Imagine doing this with only one monitor. I legitimately imagine that. Unbelievable. Alright, okay, I think I've got a good setup here. Oh look, Jebro got gifted a sub. I'm really happy with that because I always feel kind of weird when if I usually, if I'm gonna go to Jebro's stream, I'll lurk. But if I actually use chat, people are like, "Oh, here's a sub," and I always feel kind of bad about it. So look, there you go. There's a little bit right back at you. Oh, hold on. Except I've lost chat now. I can't see you guys. There we go. Oh. Yeah, there we go. I gotcha. Friggin' that Windows Snap feature is a nightmare as well. Right, okay, so here we go. It might be a bit hard to interact with you guys while this is happening. We're going to go up to Almora's place first. The legends over at the wiki have created a full-on route for us, so we'll just do it that way. Cascade your OBS with your browser. Sorry, Cascade. Yeah, look, I'm sure that people will sell you services where essentially all they're doing is repackaging Windows and all that kind of stuff. I feel like there is a way to do it just with the vanilla OS. I just need to, you know, figure out how I want to organize it. Why not give them VIP? Because I don't know what that is. Listen, Twitch, for every feature I know about on Twitch, this is not an exaggeration, there's 6 features that I have absolutely no clue about and no interest in. I don't even know what that means to VIP someone. I really don't. Okay, oh god, we're gonna have to, so keep our eyes out. There should be an idol around here somewhere. The thing is, if we already collected it, I mean, there's not gonna be too much value. I love how much quickness a friggin' Hollow can stack in PvE. Like how fast. It's nuts. I was actually thinking about running this with a little bit more quickness duration, but I don't know. So I'm assuming that the first one is in the rocks just slightly to the north of us. I don't really remember where the dungeon entrance is though at that. God, the storm makes it feel very claustrophobic. Hey, you know what looks good though? Our overlay with Liz in the corner looks well good in front of the icy effect. Doesn't she look kind of cool there? I'm quite impressed with that. We got to find a way up. There's a POI all the way over there. Maybe it's in the cave. Is it down here? VIP literally means sweet fuck all anyways, to be honest. So what does it? What did it mean? Sorry, I'm now walking. Jesus Christ. We're deep frozen. I think this will clear the effect at least, won't it? Thanks for the sub there, MMO Shards. 43 months. That's awesome, dude. Thank you. What's my favorite VR game? All right, so on the Spud Discord, when I was getting into VR earlier in the year, one of the members, I think it was Mina, said that the only game she was really playing was Beat Saber. And I read that, and I thought, oh, there's got to be better games than that. Beat Saber, that's just a rhythm game. No way. I'm playing this for hardcore, true RPG immersion experiences. By the way, I feel like maybe my little foray into VR is what started messing with the PC. That's why I kind of feel like it might be a software thing still. Because I feel like the issues didn't start until after I started doing that. Anyway, so she said that about Beat Saber, and I was a bit sneery about it privately, inwardly. But you know what? I think she's right. Beat Saber is the game that I've played the most of in VR, and probably on balance I've had the most satisfaction with, which is kind of sad. But you know, it's just because it's such a refined, like clearly created concept, and with the mods and stuff. And you get this really tangible sense of progression. You guys might not remember this. I don't think I've talked about this since like the Visual Wood days much. But you're actually listening to a big DDR fan right now. I used to be very into Dance Dance Revolution. I don't really have a mat anymore. Someone was doing like a homebrew mat that they were going to sell on Facebook like 2 years ago. And I was interested in it, but I don't think they managed to get production going well. And that kind of killed my whole DDR thing. But so yeah, I'm really into rhythm games. I really am. And Beat Saber probably caught me more than anything else. Beyond that though, if we want to like, I don't want to use a snobby term here, but if we want to talk about like real games.
Energy level too low.
Christ, why am I blanking so much? I played a ton of different games. Well, another game, I don't know whether I really consider it a VR game, and it's definitely not as polished as it could be, but obviously the Phasmophobia craze was last year. I played that a ton in VR as well. And my first few experiences of that in VR were really terrifying, and I'll really cherish those memories. I actually had a moment in Phasmophobia VR where I told a ghost to show itself, and it did right in my face and jump scared the crap out of me. I used the phrase jump scare there, so there's going to be a lot of snobs saying, no, that's not real. No, it was real. It was very, very well done. It was a payoff to all the tension they'd built so far. And it was in a specific bathroom in the Barnhouse map. And I got to tell you, that was so, like, severe, my reaction. It made me actually scream. And it was so severe of a reaction that ever since then, and this happened in, like, November, early November, whenever I play the game, I don't use that phrase anymore. I don't say show yourself. I'm actually scared to say it. Because like that's stuck with me. You know how in like real life, in nature, when you're a kid, something scary or dangerous happens and it like imprints on you so you don't do it again. You know, you don't touch the hot stove because it's a very real thing that you'll get hurt. I had that moment in Phasmophobia. I don't say show yourself anymore because it properly scares. It now hits me with the very real reality that they might show themselves, and if they do it in a certain way, it will be very, very, very scary. That was like one of the only really major experiences I had, but the general tension and just fascination with it I've enjoyed. I don't know, I'd have to go to my Steam library. I've got a whole section on my Steam library of all the different VR games that I've played. Yeah, true. I think really solid, simple concept worked best. My favorite VR game is 11 Table Tennis. Yeah, a lot of people say that. I haven't played that one though. Another one I tried was just straight up Tabletop Simulator. Because, you know, that's like infinite content. This is pathetic. What is this footage? I'm going to assume that I've got this first idol. All right. I'm aggravated because I'm not anywhere near that POI or the dungeon entrance. Oh, is this it here maybe? No. That's just a beetle wall. I can't remember the way in. Was Tabletop Simulator, but it's a bit clunky, unfortunately. And it's a bit iffy. But I had another friend who got a Quest 2 when it came out, and we were playing like chess and stuff on there and the Game of Life. But yeah, I mean, I really do think if they just fixed up Tabletop Simulator a little bit, it would be definitely one of the best value VR games. I think that if Tabletop Simulator devs properly partnered and worked it out, that is the kind of game that should be on the headset as you buy it. You know, the Quest 3 should be bundled with Beat Saber and Tabletop Simulator. If it was, you know, properly calibrated and worked out. Because, yeah, that shit is infinite content. It really is. Also, by the way, I'm a big fan of 3D games. What's it called? Mervels, I think was the name of it. And like my very first VR experience was with Lucky's Tale on the CV1. Well, no, that wasn't my first ever. My first ever was Tuscany. All right, here we go. We're up here now. But the question is there an idol up here? Let's see. Looking at the map, it seems to me that the idol should be right there. And looking at my white dots, I couldn't make it there. This mini dungeon goes over here. So how do we get up there? Perhaps there's another Raven Gate somewhere? You're out. It's bloody late here in Seattle. Oh yeah, Jeb, you're a mod. I forgot that. Dude, it was really good to see you. I hope you're doing well, man. I haven't dropped in on one of your streams for a long time. I really do hope everything's going good. It's a chain. Resident Evil 7 is stuck on PSVR. It's one of the best VR experiences. I heard a lot about Astrobot as well, a PSVR exclusive. That apparently is really, really killer, but I haven't been able to. I'm just gonna try one more time to like just straight up fly up here. I just really want this snowstorm to be over, honestly. I guess we got here at the exact worst time as far as the meta is concerned and stuff. Oh wow, it says the blizzard will remain. Is this just the punishment for the meta failing? Yeah, I think if there was one here, I think we got it. I think we got it. So let's go to number 2. Number 2 looks to me on the map as though... it's here at the outside the entrance of the Dark Rime Delves, the actual dungeon. I guess it was more over to the west than I thought it was. Isn't Astrobot PS5 DualSense demo game? I don't know about that. Astrobot Rescue Mission. There you go. That's the PSVR one. Apparently, it's really good. And again, it's one of those third-person experiences. And I also, I'm quite into God games. Oh, I'll tell you another thing I did as well, by the way. I'm a big believer in room scale. Let's just keep an eye out very clearly here. And, like, not having to use WASD or an analog stick and stuff like that. Honestly, it's so immersive. So there's a game on the Side Quest store. So Side Quest is basically like another storefront for the Quest, but it's like more homebrew, it's more indie stuff, it's more in-dev stuff. And, oh Christ, why can't I remember the name of any of these games? There's a really good roguelike dungeon explorer game that, when I last played it, it only had 2 weapons. It had a throwing knife and it had a sword. And, oh, it's such a good game. It's an incredible game. And anyway, one of the things that these randomly generated dungeons can do is they can generate spike traps that flick up and down on the ground. And I was playing that with like as big of a space as I possibly could, that I would physically walk in. And the experience of actually running, like IRL running across the room to get over a spike trap before the spikes come back up and nail me in the feet was incredible. Like there's a level of immersion there I've never experienced anywhere else. Like I was literally physically doing the thing that was in game, you know. I was running across this dangerous area before the spikes came up. So good. So I really believe the future is finding a way to get people moving their legs more. Like I honest to God, this is going to sound really wild and crazy and maybe even stupid. I think the future is finding ways for people to be able to play VR in their garden. Like, I'm not joking. Where you've got like a lawn, like a flat surface, a grassy area. Mud is good and soft to fall on if that were ever to actually happen. But you can actually play outside where you've got a lot of space, like a big square. And then in the game itself, that you can do all kinds of little techniques to have the gameplay make you turn around seamlessly when it detects you're getting towards a fence or an edge or whatever. I really do. I mean, there's a lot of like considerations in like bumpy ground and stuff like that to think about, but just the more space you have, the better. And most people have space as long as they're allowed to go outside with the headset. If you can go outside, even if you live in like an apartment complex, there will be like, you know, a lawn or a driveway somewhere nearby outside a communal area that you can go to. And I really do think that that is a direction I would be very happy to see VR going. And I know what a lot of you guys are thinking, like, oh, but, you know, it's just more barriers to entry. And look, there are these bars, right? There are these barriers. But I would actually argue that finding ways of getting wireless out there and power and making it so that the sun doesn't fuck up the display or get too hot and all that kind of stuff, those are easier things to deal with than, like, these ridiculous treadmill concepts and all that kind of stuff. Like, way easier. So I don't know. Man, I could do actual essays about this stuff, I think, if I just stuck with it a bit longer. So there was supposedly one here, which I didn't see, one here, which I didn't see, and now there's supposedly one here. I think I'm dead. No, why do I have the death sound? Most people don't have a home. Look, most people don't have a lot of space in their home, you know. I would actually consider, where I was playing VR, I moved all the furniture in the house. I moved it all to get as much space as I possibly could. I live alone, so I can do these things, right? But most people can't do that. They can't fuck with the furniture. They have other people to live with and to consider. And they might not have... Like, I've got one of those setups where, like, one room opens into another with a really wide doorway. So it's kind of, like, open. It's kind of like a big rectangle I could walk in. And what I would do with that spike trap is I'd run lengthways down the rectangle, if that makes sense. So I could just about do it. It's Kato. I'm getting flashbacks here. This is good stuff. But most people can't do that. They really can't. And most people don't have space in the house for proper room scale experiences, which are so immersive. Ah, I see. This is what the idols look like. So we can actually keep our eye out for these. All right, good. So that's this one. The next one is on this peak. That one's very easy to read them. Oh my god, do you see how I keep going on the Warclaw? That's because I'm spending so long in World vs. World. My muscle memory is on the Warclaw. WPVR review channel when if you could see my Google Drive, man. I have so many, like, ridiculous concepts for YouTube videos and stuff. One of the things I've got is a spreadsheet of all VR games that I've either played or know about and could anticipate playing, ranked in order and then split by generation. So, like, I would consider Gen 1 VR experiences to be the 2014 to 15. I would consider Gen 2 to be 16 up until this year. And I would say we're just coming into, as far as the software, I'm not talking about hardware, I'm talking about my own little mind, what's the phrase? My own little thinking of the software side. And I feel like we're just hitting a third generation of VR experiences for software now, with the release of the Quest 2 and all that kind of stuff. So, and you could compare them and see how they'd go in and stuff. I'm not saying that will ever be a thing, but it was fun to write the spreadsheet out and think about it and, you know, put on a reviewer hat for a little while. The next one appears to be, let's see, this road comes down here. Oh, yeah, we're basically on it. Kato's on it at the moment. I should just accept the fact that Kato's going to be on it. Wait, but hold on. Where is he? Up or down? Ah, here it is. We were floating next to it. So it's not there. So the next one would be over here. So let's go this way. There's a lot of weird stuff to think about with, like, a review channel anyway. Like, not too many people actually even have the hardware, even as affordable as the Quest 2 is now. Like I said yesterday, there's the whole Facebook thing muddying it and holding people back and blah blah blah. Yeah, Skyrim VR I didn't play, but I did read a lot about. And what I was really excited about was right as the Quest 2 came out and just after, there's this ludicrously talented dev that was working on a Skyrim VR mod that would... I could talk for ages about Skyrim VR. Skyrim VR vanilla is awful, and it was a really lazy cash grab and honestly an embarrassment to Bethesda and a great example of the kind of shitty stuff Bethesda started pulling recently, right? But with mods you can improve things, but one of the things that people always thought was a hard limitation was that in Skyrim, in any good VR game, look, one thing you guys need to know about good VR games is, first and foremost, they need to be good physics engines and good simulators of, like, a physical environment. Like, what's so good about Half-Life Alyx is Source 2 and all the technical work that Valve did making interacting with objects in that virtual world so good. Your virtual hands, you can like pick up, like the first thing really so many people do in Half-Life Alyx is they pick up like these markers and they write on this like whiteboard or this glass pane, and you can actually write, you know, the physics and the way that everything works there, it feels really snappy, really responsive. It works perfectly. Your virtual hands feel very, very, very good. And half the thing holding a lot of this software back at the moment is they're not as good as what Valve demonstrated you can be. And Valve like never released how to do it or whatever. That's like their stuff. So everyone has to like reinvent the wheel. They have to invent the wheel for themselves. They can see what Valve did, but everyone's trying to figure out their own thing. So like when you look at games like Boneworks and stuff and like Pavlov, they're all doing the same thing, but you know, maybe there's a little bit more emphasis on gunplay or whatever. Like really a lot of what VR deving at the moment is like physics deving in a way. So anyway, going back to Skyrim, it has nothing like that. So there's you could always get a mod that allowed you to like look down and see your body. You didn't even have a virtual body that would update based on your armor and stuff. So modders managed to get that in, and that was about as far as it went. You could, one bit fundamental annoying thing about Skyrim VR was that your in-game hands couldn't ever interact with stuff. You know how in that those Oblivion 2 and Morrowind, I guess to an extent, you could like hold Z and like pick stuff up and swing it around, and the physics was so impressive and stuff. That doesn't actually work in VR. You can't just use your hands to like knock bottles around on a bookcase or something. You can't throw things around willy-nilly. You don't really get that deep sense of presence because there's like just this barrier there constantly because the game just didn't have it. Anyway, so that was a big thing. Everyone was like, no, it will never work. Skyrim VR is always going to be held back for that. And what do you know, right after the Quest 2 came out, a guy came out with a tech demo showing it could work and released a mod. If you guys are into YouTube, and I assume some of you are, you should check out the YouTuber Kagnar. His whole YouTube channel is Skyrim VR stuff. That's his whole channel, Skyrim VR. And he shows off the various mods and stuff. And anyway, I was watching his channel as the work in progress versions of this mod came out, giving you proper control, and so now you can actually interact with the world and you can throw stuff around. And they even do the Half-Life Alyx gravity gloves thing where you can like pull stuff towards you, which feels a bit weird if you're not playing like a mage or whatever for your immersion or whatever, but it's really, really good, and the quality of your life you get from a feature like that is just massive. So yeah, there was a lot of exciting stuff happening with Skyrim VR, and I was very, very into reading about it, but I never actually played. I think I did buy it. I think I do own it now. I think I picked it up on the Steam sale, the Christmas sale, because it was very cheap at the Christmas sale. But I never played it, and the more I read, the more it kind of just looked limited. I don't know, maybe with the later versions of those mods and stuff, you'll find it. Because I do think one of the things that's really important for VR right now is being able to translate existing titles into positive VR experiences. And look, you're never going to get that far. A game like Skyrim was not built for VR, so it's going to have fundamental attributes that are not good for VR, right? Like, you're talking about an entirely different game. Like, case in point, people often ask about, like, Half-Life Alyx. They're like, oh, I want to play a Half-Life sequel, but I don't want to have to buy this new hardware. This is so lame. Can't I just play it without it being VR? And the answer to those people is, well, even if you could, it would be shit. Because if you're playing Half-Life Alyx not in VR, like, it's literally just going to be like a walking down corridors simulator with, like, mediocre gunplay. It's not going to be a good game. Like, they are fundamentally different games. In a lot of ways. So you're never going to get that far, but what they do offer is a lot of content, you know, like if we imagine that you can refine all those kinks in Skyrim VR, which is what the modders are doing, if we imagine that that's possible, where's the next one? I think he's at it again, I really do. So let's go over there. If we imagine that, then what you've created suddenly is like thousands of hours of rich content in an alien world, in a fantasy universe. You've just done that, the snap of your finger. You've taken all of that AAA production work and you've turned it into a VR thing. So it is a huge reward if you can manage that. And there's some good projects around Doom and some of the id products as well, which are pretty good. I played a bit of Doom 3. Look, this is probably going to bore you guys. I know a lot of you want to talk about Guild Wars, so maybe I'll stop. But yeah, there's some good like Android ports of certain games. I don't have any gathering tools anyway. What, we going through the gate, or is it above the gate? What are we doing here? Oh, is it up on the rock there? Oh, we've already got it. Okay, good. Maybe I should just follow Kato, literally. That would probably take a lot of pressure off here. We've got to get the lock again. It's weird. I'd like to see a Raven lock, maybe in some of the new DRMs or something. Oh, and the other thing I want to say as well that I've been reading about a little bit lately is the old 3D stuff for Guild Wars 2, and I was reading about this back when I was really enthusiastic about my Quest 2, about, what, half a year ago or something. Guild Wars 2 is a funny one in terms of translating into VR, because you got to remember, when they made Guild Wars 2, it was when VR was, when 3D gaming was the current fad. Yeah, we've already got this one. If you remember, VR gaming was like the thing that everyone thought was going to take off, where you'd put on the active glasses. And a lot of people sneer at it, but if you properly go back and you read reviews about it, or even like quite recent ones, like 2018 reviews, stuff like that.
I want rest. I'd like to rest. I'd like to.
I read someone talking about, what game was it? Crap, what game was it? They basically said like how much they miss 3D monitors and 3D gaming. That VR is good, but he really misses the experience of being able to sit down in his real house at his real desk and just see his monitor showing a game, but it looks like a portal to another world, you know, because it's got all this depth and it goes off into the distance. It's like the monitor, it's like this 3D portal to another world just sitting there on his desk, and it was displaying whatever game he was talking about. And like, that sounds so incredible to me, and I feel bad that I like missed out on that, because I know how good 3D can look because of my experiences with VR, and the idea that you could just sort of have that, it's so cool. It's the whole 3DS thing, right? But on a much bigger monitor, and hardware could really push that a lot better now, you know, especially at like 1080p resolutions and stuff. Like, we really could at the current gen, but it's like dead, and nobody's interested in it as a format anymore, and it sucks, you know. It's a lot easier to just put on some 3D glasses than a whole goddamn head-mounted display, I'll tell you that much. And over to Guild Wars, they actually made Guild Wars 2, that is, to be like a good 3D experience. Like, there's a mod called Helix mod, and I was reading the dev comments of people who were like tweaking Guild Wars 2 with it, and they were talking about how, what a dream Guild Wars 2 is. Something about how like the mouse is dynamically rendering or something, so you can adjust the depth at which the mouse appears and all kinds of stuff. Like, it sounds so cool, but ArenaNet themselves stopped supporting the idea, and I don't know, I think it's all just dying and withering away, and I don't know how feasible it is anymore. But I really feel like I missed out there. I missed out on playing Guild Wars 2 on an active 3D monitor, because they were looking at it when the game came out, and they did produce for it. The other thing I was saying on the Spud Discord about Guild Wars 2 as well, that I kind of feel like I've missed out on all this time, is the whole 16:10 thing. But didn't we mention that on yesterday's stream? I think we did. Or the one before that. Is this the third stream already?
You must prove your strength to Ox
can't remember.
by becoming the Ox.
Oh my god, we ran right past him. I just ended up tunnel visioning map completion. If someone can make the 3DS 3D a bit more refined on bigger screens, that'd be amazing. Well, look, I think I think you would need the glasses. I don't think there's any no, we got this one. I don't think there's any concept of not using the glasses. The 3DS only works because it is a small screen. Like, you'd have to sit so far away from, you know, a big monitor for it to work with that. You know, it's just not viable. It's just not going to be happening. You used to play 16:10. Yeah, and I don't know. I have a lot of fond memories of Guild Wars 2 16:10. Again, because it was kind of designed for 16:10. As far as I know, this game was designed for 16:10, or at least elements of the UI. Like, imagine if it was just a bit taller. This screen was a bit taller. Think about how that would separate this loot, this inventory loot coming in, from the elements on the top right. It would just work a bit better, you know. Think about how you could make the chat box considerably taller and never like worry. Yeah, we got this one as well. You're waiting for holodeck level VR gaming? Well, look, that's a dangerous thing. You can't. I think that hurts the industry. You've got to. You got to adopt, you know, so that it can continue working. It's like saying, if everyone, back when we only had polyphonic ringtones, said, I'm not going to buy a mobile until they have, you know, whatever the current phone cameras are up to. Incredible phone cameras. I'm not going to do it until I have the internet on there and all blah, 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 blah. Then, you know, phones never would have made it, you know, like, it's incremental. There's a pretty, regurgitated, like, image macro thing about that as well. About people's resistance to adopting VR. Like, it just keeps getting better, and there's always a guy in the background saying, well, I'm not doing it until this. And then there's someone playing it and having fun, and then in the next panel, they're like, well, I'm not doing it until this. And then they're playing this other thing with this next panel, and they're saying, well, I won't do it until this. And in the meantime, these other people have been getting meaningful experiences the whole time, you know? What does that mean, holodeck? Someone who hasn't seen Star Trek? Ban him, Flaganti. The holodeck is, it's a space on a starship. And this is interesting. Do we see holodecks on non-Federation vessels? Have we ever seen a holodeck on a Klingon ship or Romulan? Have we seen a holodeck on like a bird of prey or something? I don't know. Anyway, they're artificial reality rooms that allow the writers of sci-fi shows to invent filler episodes where the budget is low because you don't have to do any fancy CGI. You just have them go on a holodeck adventure to 20th century United States of America. Oh, look, we're in California. What is this weird Los Angeles place that coincidentally is where we produce the show? How strange. And, let's see what people of today would do if they were confronted with an android.
We must calm
It's brilliant, right?
corrupted spirit. Please, take whatever
There's a
offerings you
holodeck
have
in
to
Deep Space
restore
Nine, which is a
within this
Cardassian
forest.
space station. No, but they were retrofitting Deep Space Nine, or Terok Nor, I would have you say, if we're talking about it as its time under control of the Cardassians. As Dul Gullah Dukat would happily correct you on. I don't know. Maybe the Federation put that in there. What about that episode where they go to like Deep Space 7 or whatever it is? You know, they go to another one in one of the episodes. The Ferengi do on a rescue mission for Quark's mother. I know. I only got into Star Trek late in life, right? So I know exactly how I sound to all the normies out there right now. This is good stuff. Oh, is this one? No, we've got this as well. Well, what the hell, man? I thought I had like a ton to get. Yeah, I still got 3 more. God, what a legend Kato is, man. I haven't streamed for like ages, and then boom, here he is. It's like we never stopped. Look at this. This is a master stream right here. In Enterprise, oh, I haven't watched Enterprise, so no spoilers, please. Who is that? That's Captain Archer, right? I don't really know the Enterprise stuff. I just know that people didn't like it because they changed the intro song. It wasn't some big orchestral thing anymore. Oh, speaking of changing the songs, I had a lot of comments yesterday on End of Dragons Daily. I randomly put the Dust Force OST on one of the episodes just to change it up a little bit, just a bit of a throwback to the past. I used to always use the Dust Force OST around Guild Wars 2's launch, and I thought, you know, the whole End of Dragons Daily thing, it's like Guild Wars 2 Daily, so screw it, let's just have fun with it. But I actually had a couple of comments of people saying that clearly new viewers of mine, I say new, people that came in at some point between now and 2012. All right, that makes you new in my eyes. I had some people who didn't recognize that it was a throwback track saying, oh, I really like it. It's new and it's different and it'll be more entertaining to the Zoomers and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know whether maybe I should just... Is it possible that that was just better? What do you guys think? Should I just stick with that Dust Force music at Tumble? Nice, it's an idol. How didn't I have this one? This isn't such an easy place. Jesus. The Star Trek VR is a good game too. Wait, there's a Star Trek VR game. Oh, you mean the see, they're not really games, are they? That's just a demo in which you walk around on the next generation Enterprise captain's room, right? That's it. Well, actually, the captain's room might not be in it. What am I trying to say? The bridge. By the way, one of the best things you can do in VR, I'm not joking, is the Steam Christ, what, why have I, what is this old man brain? It's not called Steam Home, is it? What is it? It's Steam VR something. Look, Steam hosts the opportunity to have like a little virtual house in Steam, and you can pick any number of environments. So you can like walk around in World of Warcraft in VR. You can walk around in Super Mario 64 in VR. You can walk around in Star Trek locations in VR. You can walk around the American office space in VR. You can walk around all kinds of artisanal Valve created fantasy environments in VR. There's a million things you can do in VR in that. Did I already mention Zelda, the Zelda games? That is what I was using. I did a video of The Floor, an episode of The Floor, in which, no, we got this one. In which I was playing Final Fantasy X Zanarkand in VR. And that is what it was being hosted through. It was through the Steam VR home thing. It's really, really good. You can't do much more than just walk around. I mean, Valve do offer some, like, achievements and, like, little quest things you can do. But they're really not that fun, and they're pretty empty. What it's best to do with is with a friend. If you've got one friend that you can play with, it's a lot more satisfying exploring those places when you do it, like, socially. You can join public lobbies as well, which I did, but there are a lot of little children and just idiots. What was it? There was some guy, he'd clearly gone through puberty because he had a deep voice, but he was so fucking stupid, it blew my mind. And he was like bragging about his hardware or something, like a kid would, you know? Saying, oh yeah, it's really good, it's the best, blah, 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 blah. And it like blatantly wasn't. So I said, yeah, no, it's not. This is better. I can't remember what it was. And it was just, I don't know, man. What the fuck are people? That was me, says Sebastian. Yeah, I don't know, I like it. I liked my time doing social stuff in VR, because I just, you know, you just sort of let it rip. It's just fun. One does not simply walk around in Mordor in VR. I didn't do any Lord of the Rings oriented stuff. Look, my estimation is we're still about 5 years out, honestly, but it is a side of the games industry that I'm really excited about. Probably most excited about. Well, I'm a bit scared. We're not at the end, are we? Oh, we are. So I'm still missing 3. This would have been it. Alright, Kato, well, let's go in reverse. Let's go in reverse, because we've clearly missed 1 or 2. Let's try again, and I'll try and keep my eyes on every single one. So 1. Well, the whole resolution race, I don't actually think is that important right now. Oh, he says from the start. He thinks probably we missed one from the start. Well, hold on, why don't I see it? There, it's there. I honestly think that the screen door effect, you're talking to someone who picked up the dev kit 1, all right? I know what a bad screen door looks like. I've seen the screen door develop through that to the CV1 to the Quest 2. And to be fair, I do look a bit like an Oculus fanboy there because I haven't actually tried any of the alternate shit. But I'm telling you, it's totally tolerable. It really is. Like, you have to squint and be actively thinking about it to see it, and it will evaporate away in mere moments after you're in there now. It is very, very, very good at the moment. You can walk around is no longer a phrase with the amount of times I just heard that in 10 seconds. Oh, yeah, well, because I said it for each thing. Yeah, I don't know. I feel weird about this one. I don't remember ever getting a goddamn idol up here. No, I did. I must have. I mean, yeah, here you go. It just called in. It just loaded in here. Bridge crew is... Oh, bridge crew. I do remember hearing about that. Yeah, but hold on. That was... was that cancelled or something? There's some problem with Bridge Crew. Like, it's incompatible with current hardware or something. I'm sure that there was a problem with Bridge Crew. And there's a reason you can't play it. Like, it's unsupported or some shit. No, we got this one as well. Bridge Crew is still going. I've got it. It's really good. Alright, fair enough. I guess I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I didn't check this one last time. We definitely didn't check this, but unfortunately we've got it. Resolution race is stupid. We don't need 8K. I hardly doubt there's a noticeable difference unless your eyesight is perfect. No, I think you still do get gains up to 8K, honestly. My biggest problem in terms of like visual clarity and stuff at the moment with the whole thing is I have a real problem. And now my friend didn't have this problem, so I don't know what it is. But if I, in VR, hold an object up to my face or I lean in to look at something close, it's always blurry. Like if it's really right up in front of me, it's blurry. Like I can set things up so that it all looks really crisp and clean and legible and there's high clarity everywhere. But as soon as I like try to like hold something up to my nose or whatever, it will not go into focus. I cannot focus. And it's actually really frustrating because if there's like small text or something I want to read, my instinct is to lean into it because that's what you do IRL. But if I do that, then it gets blurry. So instead I have to like just focus my eyes while maintaining distance. And I have that majorly. I have a real problem with that. I don't have motion sickness or anything, but I don't generally get that. The only way I ever get motion sick is reading a book in a car. If I do that, I'm fucked. But otherwise, I'm alright. Apologies if this gets asked a lot, but am I going to continue Elder Scrolls? Yep. We're just kind of in a Guild Wars 2 phase at the moment, and End of Dragons, to just because I want to feel some confidence, I want to feel some success, I want to feel, you know, some progress and comfort with what I'm doing for a living, and then we'll slowly filter those other things in. I don't think the way I was doing it before is healthy. There's a whole conversation to be had. I'll have it a little bit down the road. You shouldn't read a book in the car. As a passenger, of course. So it's good you get motion sick. Excuse me. Nope. It'll be nice to finally get out of Bureau, you know. Because oddly, I feel like we should be done here. It's especially odd right now because we're in the first half of Bureau again. So it gives the impression that we're really far back. Ah, hello. It's an idol of Jormag. Nice. One more. There is one hidden idol on the map. WP going to be building this comp. Oh my god, we had a big ass donation. Oh shit, I didn't notice. I'm really sorry about that. Okay, so hold on. Jeb got gifted a sub. I read that out. After that, Stefan tipped £11 and said, let's make it to 1K. That was 26 minutes ago. Really sorry about that, man. Thank you very much. Then we had Andre, who subbed. Thank you very much. Welcome, welcome. And then Dakina. £94, 37 pence. That's unbelievable that we've got this one here. I'm not going to let a Norwegian show off with his stolen oil money. Love from Denmark, who gave all the oil away like idiots. Stolen. Is there a deeper story there? Teach me about the economic situation in Norway with regard to its oil exports. Thank you so much. That's amazing. Holy crap. So wait, what are we at now? Have we made £1,000? We're over £1,000. Oh, so hold on. Stefan made it £1,000 already. How have we raised that much? I can't believe how much you guys have rallied here. This is unbelievable. Did Kato go through here? I don't actually know if he did. Please, 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 please. Motherfucker. He says come back through the Asura gate, fine. So that's the GPU. Look, I never was gonna go like ludicrously high end. Hold on, we can't go back though. This is a one-way ticket. I guess I'll just go all the way around, fuck it. Oh, he's gonna portal us. I mean, I could waypoint to a friend as well. TP to a friend. Yeah, guys, I don't wanna splurge all the money on one. Oh shit. Okay, thank you. I was looking away there at chat as he portaled. Yeah, we got this one. We got this. I don't know. Wow, I'm gonna actually have to start reading about this, aren't I? What could we do that would make this as good as possible for End of Dragons? I was thinking about like maybe super sampling or something. I was thinking about like dream scenario. it would be kind of cool to have higher frame rate stuff, but I was reading about it, and I don't think YouTube supports it. I was thinking of like going up to 90 FPS or something, because for me, I really feel the difference at 90 versus 60. That feels very big to me. And then it feels kind of big from 90 to 144, but you know, there's no, I'm not producing videos at 144. And again, YouTube doesn't seem to support it anyway, so I don't know whether that's really realistic. This feels like it could be it, because I don't remember ever coming here. Wow, apparently I did at some point. 4K videos? See, I don't know about that. I don't know about 4K. Another weird thing I was reading about a little bit last night, was surround sound, because kind of separate to the PC issues right now, I'm also just trying to figure out like nicer ways to render my videos. And I was looking at audio and stuff, and one thing that I've never really done is I've never used like 5.1 or 7.1 stuff, which YouTube supports and has recommended settings for, and I know I could add it to my process, so I could have videos that utilize 5.1 surround sound or 7.1. So I could actually do it. I could provide that to people, and the videos would be a little bit better. I don't know whether that would help the YouTube algorithm or whatever, because you know the videos look fancier or something. Here it is, this last one. So I was reading about it a bit, and apparently Guild Wars 2 looks really good. There you go, that's Idolatry complete. Apparently Guild Wars 2 sounds really good. I actually read some really, like, stupidly positive sentiment about Guild Wars 2's surround sound. Like, proper surround sound. Not stuff with just, like, a headset, but, like, really doing it. Now, I haven't had a surround sound set up, or you know, because I think they're quite expensive, aren't they? For years. The closest I've ever experienced with it was when I was a teenager. In the house, one of my brothers had spent his money on one in his room for his Xbox, and I remember playing Halo 3 in his room when he had this surround sound, and you know, he'd be on his bed, but he had like the speakers behind him and stuff, and it was really cool playing the Xbox and hearing like a grunt to behind me and to my back left. Like, it was badass. It was very, very, very fun. And I think Bungie had set up a proper like system for it or whatever, so that you could test it out. And ever since then I've been like, oh, that would be pretty cool for PC gaming, again, because I'm living alone. It's not like I have to have a headset on all the time, you know, and otherwise I'll be bothering people. And if you read reviews, apparently Guild Wars 2 sounds really good with it. So I don't know, maybe that's something that then you could put in your videos. But it's one of those weird things where, like, I'm not seriously suggesting I wanted to spend this money on that, because I can't imagine many people who are watching my videos actually use it, right? But I had a guy saying that a proper surround sound setup for immersion on his PC was just as important to him as having like a 1440p monitor. Like, the sound is 50% of the experience, and most people never really set up as good as it could be, and it can be really, really, really good. So I don't know, it's just crazy. Like, think about the dream setup, guys. You've got like that active 3D monitor in a world where ArenaNet kept doing 3D stuff for Guild Wars with the perfect surround sound setup. What else could you do? You got like those LEDs you stick on the back of the monitor that glow up the walls around it based on the color that's on the monitor. Maximum immersion. You can do all kinds of nutty stuff. I don't know. All I'm really caring about myself is having decent YouTube videos.
This is where the sons of spawning are hiding. You know what they do.
As a kid, you used to play Guild Wars 1 with 5.1 set up. Even benefited majorly with the first game. That's awesome. So what's your review? Give it a score out of 10 for me. Milky Weapon of Destruction. Give me an out of 10. Can you reliably even have Guild Wars 2 at 90 FPS in populated open world? Yeah, just don't be a nutter with the culling settings. That's all you got to do. Just be careful about culling. Shadows, reflections. There's a weird question with Guild Wars 2 frames as well, where it's like the game's so CPU bound that less cores but higher rates might be better, right? I think. It's funny how many games I play that are in that situation. I read a thread on Reddit where this guy was like, CPU doesn't matter, just get a good GPU, that's all that matters. And I'm like, nearly every game I play is CPU intensive. Like most of the Elder Scrolls stuff, especially if you mod them, heavy on the CPU. The Paradox stuff, heavy on the CPU. The Guild Wars stuff, heavy on the CPU. So to me, it's like, you know, like don't even go like i7 or whatever. Just get a really fast i5 or something. I don't know. Low frame rate is fine, but in Thunderhead Peaks you randomly get a 10,000 ping spike. It's not so good. Thankfully, since last hotfix, the map doesn't lag that much. I never had that experience in Thunderhead, but yeah, they did a ton of patches to it. A ton. Can I just say thanks to Kato there for really, really helping out with Idolatry. That's awesome. That's been on my nearly completed list for ages, so finally we've got that. I think tomorrow we'll probably pick up these other Shadow in the Ice ones and be done with it. So then we're finally back up to complete for the first 3. Visions of the Past, we've still got to do the Footsteps, and I need to figure out what the hell the experimentation thing was. Oh, and I got to find the hidden champion. In fact, tomorrow, let's do Heating Up the Delves. Tomorrow, let's do this. We're going to find and kill the champion Ice Beast in the Almora instance, because that's a fun one. So we'll do that. And yeah, sorry guys that I rambled about a lot of stuff that wasn't really Guild Wars related today. But there you go, that's how it goes sometimes. I hope you've all been enjoying. Thank you so much for the support. Dakina there, Stefan, Naratu. There's 3 of you today, so thank you to all of you. Oh, and Leo Nardin, 10 minutes ago. £3. Make Guild Wars look great again. Thank you very, very, very much. And you subbed as well. So thanks very much for that, guys. I'm going to call it there. Keep an eye out on my channel. I just did a patch review for the most recent episode. End of Dragons Daily's going on. And what did I want to make today?
Temperature normalized.
I was going to do another Guild Wars 2 video today. I can't remember what it was going to be, though. I might do the tonic video. That could be today. Seems like it'd be a good idea. Can I find a way to get the graphics up for that? See, that's the thing that's kind of screwing me on that. I need to get the graphics up. Can't show off the tonics if they're bad. Last time, do you remember I did the mini video in Fractals of the Mists? It's because there's not much going on in the Fractal lobby, so you get high frames, and I did every little category I did with the minis. You'll notice there was a cut there. It's because I couldn't bear going more than 5 minutes without saving and closing it out so that I wouldn't lose all my progress in the event of a crash. So maybe I could do it in the lobby again. Oh, hey Valen in chat. Interesting topic that could be explored: expansion versus episodic content. What, for an End of Dragons daily? Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the heart of most discussion about Guild Wars at the moment, isn't it? In fact, I would say that is a question that got put on the table in 2012 after the Fractals update and the inception of Living World Season 1, right? That's a big one. Try using a guild hall. I usually get a ton of FPS there. In a guild hall, I doubt I will in ours. And the Jinlai chest doesn't have a guild hall, I don't think. I read, guys, if you're looking for a quick buck, I'm totally advertising something here that I shouldn't probably. And I'm helping someone out massively. If you want to earn a quick buck in Guild Wars, apparently on the Guild Wars 2 exchange subreddit, someone was offering like 10,000 gold for a guild bank. If you have a guild that you own with a maxed out bank, they were like trading like a Chark Infusion or some crap for it. Like, I'm not joking. They were desperate for a guild bank. Some kind of crazy TP Baron storage crisis. So they were spending a crap ton of money on it. And I don't know. I mean, it's Guild Wars 2 exchange, so you might get scammed or whatever, but maybe have a look at it. Also, this was a few weeks ago. It might not be going on anymore. Jillybean says, hi, Waves. Thank you for the wonderful Guild Wars 2 videos you make. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hopefully the devs get a good expansion going and we can get some good stuff. So yeah, there you go. Did I miss any other messages in chat, guys, before I jump off? Last chance. Until tomorrow, that is. Man, we got 1,097. Jesus Christ. Yes, upgrade your graphics card. All right, okay. All right, we'll do. All right then, guys. See you later. And I'll see you tomorrow.